Hello guys. Welcome to my channel. Guess what we are talking today? Yes, stove top covers. That's right. So tell me what you think. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. So today we're going to show you how my husband and I did this project together, and we're so excited. A customer asked us, hey, can you make us a stovetop cover? So we were like, and my husband said, sure, we can do that. So I'm like, okay. So we did it on the stovetop cover, and we're so excited to share this with you guys. So stay tuned, and guess what? Hopefully at the end of this, you will be able to DIY your very own stovetop cover. See you later. Hi guys. Okay, here it is here, the stovetop cover, and the dimensions is a 30 by 22. Here, my husband used the jigs to mend the boards together. We actually used two 1x6s and one 1x4, and my husband cut the 1x4 into two pieces, mend them on top. Here, I'm putting the filler in so I can go ahead and sand it. A lot of people like to wait until the filler is dry before they sand it. But me personally, it worked for me to just go ahead and put the wood filler in and go ahead and start sanding. Here you see me sanding the boards. I want to make sure that the boards are very smooth because remember, these are going on countertops and you don't want to, have any accidents where there are scratch marks or anything like that. So I make sure that the edges are very smooth. And also, when you touch it, you don't want any splinters or anything like that coming out on you. So it's very important to get those edges. We used a 220 grit, I believe, on that. And we sanded that right in the workshop. And you see when I sand it right over the wood filler, it's still smooth. But of course, you're going to wait maybe at least an hour before the wood filler is dry after you sand it. And then you could stain it. I used that, the gel stain to put over there. And here it is in fast motion. So I went ahead and put one coat on top of it. And I worked right to left. You don't want to go against the grain because you want that same pattern. So I did that. And of course, you have to consistently move when you're doing this. Because if you stop, it's not like paint. Paint would dry, but this, you could see the streak marks and everything if you make a mistake. So I did one coat and I waited for it to dry. And here I did another coat. I probably waited about maybe 30 minutes for it to dry before I proceeded. Okay, so of course you're going to have the little area in between the wood slacks. So I just took a little paintbrush that I bought at the dollar store and stuck it in there. Make sure I got the entire surface stained because that's important. You want it to look like one complete beautiful project. Okay, here I use my stencils and printed them out, printed the names. And okay, so the blue tape here, you're going to see I had to line everything up to identify where I want to lay my stencils once the stove cover was dry. I did that. Then I spray painted it. This time we used spray paint on some of the surfaces. What the video doesn't show you is we made a mistake I made an error and we had to sand the bottom part off, which is the name, and I had to redo it. So there, when I redid it, that time I used paint, acrylic paint, and just dabbed a little paint on it, and I was able to pour that off. Because when we used the spray paint, my husband said, okay, let's wait for it to dry. And I'm thinking, because with the acrylic, you don't have to wait that long. So I was thinking, I could go ahead and pour this thing off. And when he wasn't looking, I poured it off and it was a mess. So I had to sand the name off, restain it, and then I had to go over it. This time I did it with paint. Although I did it with paint, I still waited until it was dry. Actually, we waited maybe 15-20 minutes, which is longer than I would normally wait. But we waited 15-20 minutes until it dried. And there I am trying to peel off the vinyl. It's very tedious inside the R's and the Q's and the A's and things like that. And here is the project. It's almost done. Okay. So there's my husband putting in the wooden, not the wooden handles, but the hardware on the side of the project. So you can have a handle, added some hardware. And there I am putting that final gloss to it. All the products that I used, I am going to list them below for you guys because that last final shine, it really set it off. It gives it that real rustic look. We're so proud of this. And here's the outcome. The entire measurements is 30 by 22. And that's the stovetop cover. And hopefully you could DIY your very own.